What's up, guys? Shay Stevens here, PDGA number 77522, and today we're here to talk about rollers. I went down the comment section and I saw a lot of requests for how to throw rollers, forehand rollers, backhand rollers. Someone even asked for rollers in the woods, so I'm going to try and tackle that. In this video, we're going to start with forehand rollers because I think it's a more natural motion. The backhand roller has a lot of things going on biomechanically that are just kind of odd, it takes a lot of getting used to. So I'm going to start with forehand roller, and then we'll go to backhand roller in a separate video. Before I throw any roller, though, there's kind of this 3-point checklist I like to go over that applies to any roller situation to determine, one, do I even want to throw a roller, and if I do, what kind of line am I looking to throw, what kind of disc am I going to pick? So without further ado, let's head out to the field and check it out. Okay, guys, so the first thing you want to take into account before you throw a roller, what are you working with? What's your scene? What's the setting? So I'm here on the field right now, so you might think, oh, wide open. If I was going to throw a backhand roller, I do have some trees and stuff here on the left-hand side, so I couldn't throw a big turnover Anheuser shot that turns into a cut roller without bringing that into play. So if I was going to have to throw something there, okay, I have to throw something a little more compact, which is going to affect my disc selection and how I throw this shot in the lines that are open to me. Likewise, forehand. Look off to my left here, there's a soccer net in the way. Hopefully there won't be one on the course. There should be one. But for practice, that's a tree, bunkers, whatever. So you want to see what you're working with. Wind is another factor. What are the windy conditions like today? Thank God, for the first time in forever, no wind. Very subtle breeze, if anything, off my shoulder here coming this way. So you are throwing this disc on an angle. You're going to have it up on its side. So it's basically a big sail, so the wind can mess with it. You can use that to your advantage, or it can really hurt you. You got to figure out, is it something worth playing into? The ground itself. Somebody asked, how do I throw rollers in the woods? Honestly, don't. Unless you know that course like the back of your hand. I have walked Tyler State Park hundreds of times. I can tell you where every single route is blindfolded. Unless you know the ground perfectly, highly discourage it. Any little subtle kick off of rocks, off of trees, can mess with the disc, and wooded courses typically have more obstacles on the ground because of all the roots. So I would try to avoid it, leave it as like a last case scenario. Because even here, I'm on an open field right now. The grass, we make sure grass height's important. If the grass is high, it's going to kill a roller. So this height is just at about acceptable. Any higher, it would be sketchy. However, I know for a fact that it was raining on Thanksgiving, and there were a lot of football games here. So I'm standing in some right now. There are cleat marks in this field, divots from where people stepped and slid. So this ground is not level. And if I throw a great roller and it hits a shoot, like somebody's foot imprint, it can kick any direction and really ruin the shot. So you really want to know, what are you working with before you throw this roller? Make sure that the odds are in your favor. Because sometimes, even if you really want to get a roller down because you think it's the advantageous play, taking to the air is safer because you know what's in the air and you know what to deal with versus the mystery that's 100 feet in front of you on the ground that you can't see. Okay, guys, the next thing you want to take into consideration is, what is your disc selection going to be for this shot? So, how discs behave on a roller. Understable discs want to get to the flight plate. So whatever side you're putting that on, so if you're throwing a forehand roller here, backhand roller, whatever side the flight plate's on, an understable disc wants to get to that side. So use that to your advantage. So you can throw this disc, basically land it flat, and no, it's going to cut hard to the side of the plate. So you can get around a corner like that. Likewise, if you need to stretch a shot out before turning, you can throw this disc with a substantial amount of angle, actually, a lot of them, where it'll roll, and actually it'll be rolling like this on edge, like 45-degree angle, and then eventually stand up and either finish straight, or it will flip over and curl left for you. Stable discs tend to push forward a lot more before finishing on the plate, and then overstable discs, they want to fight to stay on this side, the underside of the disc. So especially for forehand rollers, because of the amount of snap you can get in this, because I think it's a more natural motion than a backhand roller. You can lean on more overstable discs and have them push really far forward. And they actually, some of them are so overstable, they might actually finish on the flat side and curl left for you. So use that to help you shape your shots. Okay, guys, the last point. What kind of shot do you want to throw? You got to figure out your shot shape. So do you want this disc to get to the ground immediately and start rolling? Or do you want to air something out, 100, 150, even 200 feet, before it hits the ground and starts rolling. Maybe you have to clear a downed log. Maybe there's a ditch. Just some obstacles you want to clear. It's all going to dictate what kind of shot you want to throw. So for forehand, you are actually going to put a lot of torque on this because of just the nature of the throw. Form is so key though. If you haven't already watched my video on how to build a forehand, I'm putting it right there. Click on that first. A lot of people will throw something like a Sexton Firebird and say, oh my god, this disc is so understable. And the reason it's understable is because you aren't putting enough snap into it. You aren't putting enough spin on the disc, so it comes out of your hand and flutters, and that makes the disc behave understably. If your disc is fluttering out of your hand and you're trying to throw a roller, it's not going to go well for you, because that flutter means there's no spin on the disc. So it's almost like throwing this disc just flat in the air, letting it hit the ground. It's not going to roll anywhere. You got to put spin on it so that tire can start rolling. So I'm going to throw a couple forehand rollers. The first, for your first time out, I recommend throw putters. Putters, again, are the truest disc. It's the same for pretty much anything in disc golf. Start with putters. I'm going to throw the most understable one I have in my bag first, and my goal is to get this down and get it rolling. It's probably going to shoot way to the left side for me, because I like to be decent at forehand rollers. And then play around with some angles. So give it some air, let it hit the let it fly a little bit, then hit the ground and cut. Get used to that. And then you want to step up to something more overstable. So pick another overstable putter and just kind of climb the ranks. You should be able to honestly roll your entropies, your zones, those really overstable discs, and eventually you'll be able to build up. Then you go to mid-ranges, fairways, drivers. But a good friend of mine taught me this lesson. It's really paid off. Go to the field with one or two discs only and throw it every single way you can, because you don't know when, you know, your overstable putter forehand roller is actually the shot you're going to need one day. So it's really cool to know your discs that well. So I'm going to throw this a couple times, just different ways, and we'll see how it goes. That wraps up this video on forehand rollers. Just 2 points overall for rollers. You are going to get your absolute max distance, if that's what you're looking for, out of the most stable disc that you can put on, that you can roll. So that's why your pros can throw, you know, destroyers and PD2s on rollers and throw insane things. It's going to take time to build up. For you, it might be a leopard, a relay. Just got to put the work in here at the field, guys. Just get that speed up, get that spin on the disc, and you'll be able to step up your disc and get a little more distance. Lastly, the discs with more weight on the rim do tend to roll better, because you know, just have all that, you know, all that weight and all that inertia build up by having that weight on the outside. So the disc that always comes to mind is the Innova Condor. It's a 180 gram mid-range tire. It is meant to roll. So MVP and Axiom discs with their overmold also make excellent rollers. So definitely recommend checking them out. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to reach out. I will do my best to answer them. We I think we're at 180 subs, or sorry, 138 subs. 150 is the next giveaway threshold, so share this out. We'll see if we can get there and give away another disc. As always, take care. Thank you for watching my video on forehand roller tips. I hope they help. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this and other disc golf content. Lastly, thank you to my sponsor. For all your disc golf needs, check out Berea Disc Golf.